Tamil Nadu heads to a high-stakes 2026 assembly election in the midst of public anger and also excitement, political resets and a push for performance. Now, the custodial death of Ajith Kumar, a security guard at a temple who was tortured to death with 44 injuries, has triggered a CBI probe and also mass outrage, also raising serious questions about police excesses in Tamil Nadu and the absence of a law against custodial torture. Now, in parallel, the DMK government has also launched an ambitious grievance redressal drive today with IAS officers as spokespersons and a promise to resolve complaints of common men and women in just 45 days. Meanwhile, the EIDMK BJP alliance is back on track, sharpening the contest, while the TVK, Vijay-led TVK, is spotlighting governance, justice and credibility. The big question, can any political party claim public trust without first ensuring justice in its own backyard? And also, is this 2026 assembly election in Tamil Nadu going to be that election that changes not just the political future of Tamil Nadu, but also the players in the state? That's what we discuss now. Apsara Reddy, national spokesperson of the AIDMK, joins us. We also have Ranjana Nachia, TVK leader. We have Dr. Sumant Raman, political analyst and commentator. We also have Pulla Rao, who's also a political analyst and an author. Thank you all of you for joining me on this broadcast. Apsara Reddy, to you first. Help us understand how is the AIDMK looking at the issue of custodial deaths. I read what you wrote also. It was a very important piece. But ma'am, I mean, it looks to me like custodial deaths is a problem, it's a systemic problem that Tamil Nadu has been suffering from for several years. What do you think is going to be the solution?
I think custodial deaths have quadrupled in the DMK government since 2021, since they've taken over. There have been 24 custodial deaths. Every time Mr. Stalin comes out and gives statements, tweets about it, there's no structural change that takes place. It's only optics. It's a photo shoot government that he's running. I really feel when you have something like custodial deaths which are multiplying in the state, there has to be some kind of resolve from the chief minister who holds the home department. Just suspending junior level constabulary, junior level officers and passing the buck is not the way forward. I think it took the chief minister 3 days to wake up. Why were the senior officers not questioned? Why wasn't it handed over to the CBI? Why did it take the Madras High Court to wrap the government so harshly that they had to wake up from their slumber and then issue a statement? I really feel with elections coming up, this whole redressal cell that Mr. Stalin has started is actually absolutely just humbug, and it's just an optical PR stunt, because Stalin has known, even during 2021 elections in his manifesto, when he was releasing his manifesto, he promised a box full, a locked box where people could put their complaints in, and within 100 days he'll resolve it for them. His son was actually, made the head of the special programs, which would deliver all these, attend to these, grievances of the public and, address them. None of it was done. So Stalin remains a inefficient chief minister. I don't think under him we can expect much in terms of human rights or preventing custodial deaths. The time has come for change. People are looking forward to that change under BJP and AIDMK-led government alliance. 100% sure that Mr. Stalin, based on his track record, whether it's custodial deaths, whether it's illicit liquor deaths, whether it's NEET deaths, he's always issued apologies, and it's an apology of a government, but he really doesn't do anything structurally to, to deal with that cause.
Is custodial deaths an issue that resonates with the entire state? Mr. Sumant Raman?
Yeah. Look, Vasudha, I think the problem is custodial deaths in the last 3 to 4 years. The DMK is in some ways responsible, because when the AIDMK was in power, they were the ones who went to town with the Jairaj and Benix case in Satangulam, which was a absolutely gory murder carried out in custody. And that was but so at that time the DMK virtually, ran a campaign supported by actors, supported by social activists, supported by a whole lot of the entire media, and rightly so. So that was the reason when the attention first came on to custodial deaths in a big way in Tamil Nadu. Of course, it's happened in the past also, but the attention in the recent times came because of Jairaj and Benix. Subsequently, 24 deaths have happened in the DMK rule. Almost none of it was really highlighted in a big way. There was one case of a youth called Vignesh who died soon in custody, and that was highlighted. But after that, again, it became sort of business as usual. Ajith Kumar's case became a big one because of multiple reasons, and also the fact that the video came out. You know, the video that you're showing on the screen. That was one of the main reasons why the police were not able to get away with the usual explanations. So the questions being raised about custodial deaths are very valid. Just don't look at only the custodial deaths. Look at 3,000 cases where people are believed to have fallen and fractured their hands. I think it is about 800. I'll give you the exact number. In just a 1 year period in the toilets of police stations across Tamil Nadu. But surprisingly, none of the policemen have actually slipped and fallen in the same toilets.
Okay.
So people are being beaten day after day after day, and nothing is happening. The courts are looking on. Courts are also not doing anything.
Right.
The public very often actually cheer some of these cases when they see an accused being brought in with a cast, his hand or leg in a cast. Sadly for us, the public don't even understand it is a violation of human rights.
Absolutely.
And quietly support the government.
Because that's also a culture of impunity that gets promoted by these excesses. Ranjana, how did Vijay decide that this is one issue that he wants to take up? Because whether Tamil Nadu has been under DMK or AIDMK, police excesses have been a constant, indicating that there is a systemic crisis, and Apsara also talked about it. But for Vijay to pick up one issue for his debut political protest, why did he decide on the issue of custodial deaths? Is it because both parties, he thinks, have failed to sort of resolve this issue?
Because this is the very sensitive issue. Ajith Kumar's custodial death is a very sensitive issue right now, and DMK's governance is failing to do the proper governance. That is the example. This Ajith Kumar's death is one main example for DMK's inability. So, and this doesn't happen with the big industrialists or any celebrities and all that. They don't have, the police doesn't show their guts and all these kind of terrorist activities and all with the other people. They show it only on the poor people, on daily wages laborers, because they doesn't have money to fight back, or they are voiceless, right? They are voiceless people. They only do this with the voiceless people.
Okay.
And that is very poor. For voiceless people, our leader, TVK, is leader, Vijay, would like to voice up only for the voiceless people. That is his main agenda.
Very important. Pulla Rao, clearly voice for the voiceless people is very important here. But like Ranjana was also talking about, that, who is responsible for these police excesses? Does this show that the Stalin government is too much in control of the administration, or does it show lack of control? Because I was just looking at some numbers. So activists and opposition people have been saying that there have been 24 custodial deaths. But if you look at the replies in Lok Sabha, custodial deaths of Tamil Nadu are about 13. So clearly there's some sense of, but then, we know Vignesh's case, we know Mr. Raja's case, the Dalit cook who was also tortured. Ajith Kumar's case has resonated with the entire country. So clearly, anecdotally, we know that there have been cases. What should Tamil Nadu do to report custodial torture better? Is it also important to have laws like Kerala has? Kerala has the Police Act 2011, which mandates that any police officer who witnesses torture should report it without fear. Does Tamil Nadu need laws like that?
Let me tell you, there's no doubt.
Definitely, Tamil Nadu
condemnable.
Mr. Pulla Rao, yeah.
Rules to follow.
It is condemnable. There are no two views on this. And, no need to take any lower ground or high ground. We're all on the same ground. It's condemned. But, Tamil Nadu has 1,25,000 policemen. Yes, I agree. The supervision is not good enough. The supervision can be better. The training can be better. Better people can be taken in. All of this is there. The Bureau of Police Research, Government of India frequently brings out reports which nobody reads. And of course, Government of India doesn't fund them to be implemented. We require police modernization all over the country. One such incident cannot be tolerated. Yes, they happen. You know what a very, very famous instance happened in a country like USA also. Policemen killing people openly. It's happened here. We should look at it. One more thing I'd like to say, a little bit, unorthodox maybe. This is not a law and order issue. This is crime. Crime committed by a policeman, which is even worse than an ordinary person. We require updating of police all over the country. I agree that law and order is a state subject, but the central government should take some initiative. Bring uniform laws, as you just mentioned, the Kerala law. Perhaps it can be extended nationwide. And these things, we have to modernize the police. Maybe you have, more CCTVs, maybe more vigilance, maybe better quality people also can be taken in. Absolutely. What is the recruitment process? That also perhaps there is something bad going on. And these are happening all over the country, but I'm not talking about whataboutery.
So quality of policing, Dr. Rao, is what you think is important. Apsara Reddy, if the AIDMK comes to power next year, would you promise that there would be no custodial deaths, and what do you think is a remedy for that? What kind of laws, what kind of moves will you put in place to ensure that these incidents don't occur?
So as the official spokesperson of AIDMK had written about this for the op-ed in the Hindu, I really think police reforms are very essential. Police are dealing with rape cases in the morning, theft in the afternoon, murders in the evening. There's a lot of mental lethargy. And also I feel the police department, the khaki has to be a little more compassionate. And for that, there need to be mental health, compulsory mandatory mental health camps, mental health, time provided for them to kind of upgrade their skills, also in terms of empathy, in terms of dealing with people who they're investigating. I think investigative techniques also have to be modernized. It can't be just arm twisting tactics. All this has to come up, not just as a law, but also the government has to act with empathy and put these in place. Because a lot of times when you talk to police officers, they talk about burnout, they talk about being understaffed, they talk about how, when there's a lot of political pressure, when they have to investigate cases, they have to close a case within a certain time without proper investigation. So all of this, we have to have proper systems in place.
Right. Sumant Raman, politically speaking, this is a poll-bound state. Elections are expected next year. How do you see DMK addressing this issue? Because Stalin has apologized. He has spoken to the family. Of course, he should have announced compensation for all the 23 families, which should have been done earlier, something that Vijay highlighted. How do you see DMK addressing these allegations of custodial deaths?
Can I just come in once before Mr. Sumant Raman? I have just a small point before Mr. Sumant Raman takes over. I think the Stalin model of government has always been knee-jerk reactions after an incident has occurred. And there's always been a knee-jerk reaction lacking humanity. Even when there was a girl, her footballer called Priya, who died because of medical negligence, the same Stalin who stood on the streets and asked the Edapadi government to provide 1 crore in compensation for the COVID deaths, which were like almost in thousands. Stalin didn't even announce any solatium for the girl who was, murdered in a government hospital by his own.
How do you look at the DMK's response to these allegations of custodial deaths?
No, see, the DMK has two huge advantages. One, they have complete control over the media, and they have a very, very inept opposition, which is simply incapable of exerting the kind of pressure that the DMK used to exert when they were in the opposition. So those are the two. It's a lot like how the Congress is the biggest asset for the BJP. And why does the BJP keep doing well in election? It's because of the weakened opposition. Right. One correction I wanted to make was that's not 3,000 people who fell in the quote-unquote fell in the bathrooms. It's 300. So 300 people fell, quote-unquote, fell in the bathroom of police stations in Tamil Nadu during a 11-month period.
So clearly a lot more assurances need to be given. Completely out of time. Thank you, all of you, for joining me on this broadcast. The government cannot ask for votes in one hand while turning a blind eye to police excesses. Tamil Nadu's voters are watching. The state is all set to vote next year. With that, it's a wrap on the show. My colleague Vishnu Shom joins you on the other side.